Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly and we're gonna make a Shibori tie-dyed shower curtain. So since I went over the chemistry, the things that are needed in the last video, I'm not going to go through all of that again. If you would like to learn more about Shibori, I'm going to link that above, or it's one of these sides, but I'm going to link that above, and so you can go watch that video if you want to learn all of the basics about Shibori, and then come back to this video and learn all about this additional technique, which is going to be really fun. So that batch of Shibori dye that I made up for my last video is the same batch that we're going to be using today, which is what's so great about it. That kit will actually dye, I think it said like 15 t-shirts, and so I haven't done anywhere near that, so it should be totally fine to do this shower curtain with. So today you're going to need your gloves, you're going to need rubber bands, some string, a shower curtain, scissors, and then you're going to need a 4-inch PVC pipe. So for today's video, one thing that you're going to need is this PVC drainage pipe. You can actually find this in your garden center. Like I just found this in Home Depot. And actually, my husband recommended this one because it's actually a thinner pipe. It's more lightweight, and isn't it cheaper than the plumbing pipe? Yeah, so it's cheaper, which we like cheaper. So you don't need that much of this. Now I will tell you, so the bottom part down here, see how it's real smooth? And if you look at the top part, there's like a little notch in it, okay? There's this part right here. Yeah, it kind of sticks out a little bit. We don't want to use this end. We actually want to use the smooth side. And for this project, you'll see where the little line that I marked. It's probably about 3 feet that I marked. And that's all that I'm going to need. So I'm actually going to, my sweet husband is going to cut that for me. Okay, so here is our cut PVC pipe, 4 inches. And what we're going to be doing now is we're going to wrap our shower curtain around this pipe. The best fabrics to do Shibori with are going to be natural fibers. So cotton, linen, those types of things are going to work best. First thing that we need to do is we need to take our shower curtain and we're going to fold it in half. So this is the bottom part of my shower curtain, so I just folded that in half, and then I'm just going to keep that going all along my shower curtain until I get up to the top, match up those sides. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to do we're going to actually do an accordion fold on this one so that we make sure that we don't have one side of the fabric getting way darker than the other. Next thing you're going to do is grab your pipe. I'm going to scooch my shower curtain down. And you're going to take this and you're going to secure it to the top of the pipe. And we're going to use rubber bands for that. And that's just going to kind of help keep everything in place while we wrap it. There we go. Alright, so we're wrapped around this part. And then what we're going to do is we're actually keeping our fabric kind of at an angle. We're just going to wrap around like this. Just going to loop it underneath my rubber band. And that's going to help me secure it in place. And I'm going to tie around the top of this tube and just make a knot. Now you want to make sure that there's plenty of pressure because that's what's going to keep the dye from getting into the fabric. So before I even started any of this, I actually stirred up my 5-gallon bucket of the Shibori dye so that that could kind of get going. You kind of, there's a lot of settling that happens. So you want to make sure that you really stir it and then let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes before you start using it to dye again. What I'm going to do is just at the very end, I'm just going to wrap another rubber band around this. And that's just going to be a little temporary hold until we get down to that point. So now I'm just going to wrap. So we are about at the halfway point. So what I'm going to do is, this is where I started down here, and I've got all of this wrapped. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start pushing this fabric down. I have to kind of help this one too. So I'm just going to start pushing. Okay. Now, see how it's all gathered right here? So once you get to the very end, you're going to tie this just like you did before. Just like we did before, this is the end that we scrunched. We're gonna scrunch on down even more. I'm just gonna keep pushing on down until this is really nice and compact. Okay, so now what used to take up the entire tube is now all smushed together like this. So before we can put this in the dye, we actually need this fabric to be wet. So it's really important to get all the fabric that you're working with to get it really, really wet. So I have my shower curtain nice and wet. I just use the garden hose to soak it down. Now I'm gonna put on my gloves. They always make a little funny toot sound when you get the air stuck in them. Okay. Here is our Shibori dye. And it says if you get this little funky bloom happening, just kind of move them to the side. Go on, little funky bloom. I'm actually gonna just scoop that out because that's pretty gross. All right, so here goes my shower curtain. Now you're gonna notice that this doesn't go all the way down into my bucket, and that's okay because I have this plastic cup here. It's gonna help me. And I just need to make sure that I continue to evenly pour this over. So it gets plenty of the dye. Now what's really neat about the Shibori dye is that when you first put it on there, everything looks green, or kind of a yellowy green. But the longer it sits out and oxidizes, when that oxygen hits it, it starts to get a deeper blue. And you'll really see it on this because the part that's sticking out, obviously, is in the air. Just make sure we get plenty through there. Okay, I think that is enough. So now what I'm going to do, try to squeeze some of this dye out of here before I put it on my table. Although I am using a cover for my table so that just in case, which I mean there's no just in case, it's going to get all over my table, and that's okay. So with this dye, you want this to sit out for 20 minutes for the dye to set. So we're gonna let this have a little break and watch the dye run all over the table. That'll work great. So I'm gonna get some paper towels, clean this mess up, and then we'll check back on this in about 20 minutes. So one thing that I like to do, just because I don't trust putting this in my washing machine just yet, I like to use my Draft detergent, which I know my child's almost 3, but I just love the way it smells. It just smells like baby. I love it. But anyway, I use that. I put this in a bucket, and then this is how I do the first wash. So I'll rinse it, and I'll show you all of that. But I just figured, since I'm trying to kill time and be good and not unwrap it before I'm supposed to unwrap it, which is really hard. I'm also one of those people that, like, when I find a present for you, I don't ever wait. Like, I can't. It's my love language, gifts. I need, if I find something that's just perfect for you, I just have to give it to you right away. I'm the worst about it. All right, so I'm just gonna fill up this bucket with some sweet baby smells, and when my 20 minutes is up, I'll rinse that guy off really well with the water hose. I hope you guys can hear me. I'll rinse that off with the water hose before I put it into the Draft. I mean, I may still use Draft on his clothes when he's like 16. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. So I am just going to soak this down while it is still bound. You don't want to untie it just yet. Now it's time to untie it. Okay, it is time. The big reveal. So you're just going to gently cut these strings. So as I cut it and pull this off, you see that? It's so exciting. So here is the top of our shower curtain. Oh, okay, so it got really, ooh, that is awesome. Okay, so this is the top of our shower curtain. And then it goes down to this, which, okay, I love this. This is so much fun. All right, so I'm going to put this into my little Draft bag now and get any excess dye off of this. And then I'll take it in and I will wash it in my actual washing machine. But yeah, there's still a ton of dye coming off of this, and I would not want this in my washing machine. All right, I'm gonna finish this up and then I'll show you guys the final product. Well, friends, here is the final product. And I'm not 100% on this one. I definitely don't love how this section right here is darker. Like, I think I would like it a lot better if all of these are white, but that is obviously not the way it worked. And I think next time I would probably wrap it a different way so that I didn't end up with the long random strip. But for my boys' bathroom, this is totally fine for now. And if I decided that I wanted to actually do something else with this fabric, because I do really think it's pretty, I just don't I mean, it's just not, I don't think I would put this in our master bathroom. Well, friends, this didn't exactly turn out the way that I wanted it to. I still really like it, and I think that doing this technique was really fun, and I do really like the design that it created. I don't necessarily love that I have that one band that's a lot darker, but I do think it's really cool. So my boys are gonna have this in their bathroom for a while until I figure something else out, or until I dye over it, or I don't know. What do you think? You guys let me know. Tell me in the comments. Keep it or ditch it. What do you think? You know, I like Shibori and I love the tie-dye. I'm not 100% sure. So give me your feedback. I think my husband would appreciate your feedback because we're a little on the fence about whether or not we're gonna keep it. But I hope you had fun regardless, and I hope you've learned a lot today. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I upload a video. Thank you for spending your day with me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon.